Okay, here we are. We have an interesting thing to do today. One of our players, via non-capta, has made card packs. How interesting. So originally when we first started, I think before even the first episode, he made 6 character cards for each player, just to give players like reference of what the other players look like, and for themselves too. Like, your imagination is always good, but having a frame of reference is always helpful. So I have 6 of them, and then the numbers on here are because there's 7 of us. So he gave each player and myself a set of these senior officers. So that's what each thing represents. So first we have Engineer Ensign Isaac Clarke. So this is what I was talking about. So 7 sets. This is number 4 in the 7 sets. So that's what I got. These were all random. He wanted Caleb, who designed these from the Plastic Underground. His link will be in the bio. He made all of these. He drew all of this and designed the patch for the Drake. He drew people, designed the whole card, the background, everything. Obviously, I helped give him notes as what the uniforms should look like and things of that nature. Obviously, borrowing from the shoulder pads and the name and the ranking emblems by Enterprise, the television series. But we added some Star Trek Discovery things, some original series things. It's a little hard to see here because it's faded, but yeah, they have colored bands around their sleeves to their department. So this is him. It's Isaac. And we have Science Officer Silva, number 6 of 7. It's Andrew's character. And then this was our original Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Laesa Ray, played by Ashley. And then we have Chief Engineer Zilax Jahan, played by John. 2. Then we have Second in Command and Chief Security Officer Ashrev Tharhat, played by Michael. And lastly, our captain, Captain Harper Knightley, played by Adriana. There we go. So there's some inspiration here. You know, some people from Star Trek Enterprise. Kind of borrow some faces from them. She's the captain is sort of modeled after Meghan Markle a little bit. So, very good. So, that's what we originally got back in end of October, beginning of November. The set from Caleb, who plays Ensign Engineer Isaac Clarke. So, now he went a little farther, because we really like this idea of making player baseball things. There's nothing on the back, but in normal Star Trek, they have baseball cards and collector cards from the show about characters and things of that nature. Plus, it also had that nice retro feel that we kind of wanted to go with too, back when Star Trek was super popular in the 90s and the late 80s, and then onward. I mean, obviously it was popular to a degree in the 60s and 70s, but it really reached its pinnacle late 80s, early 90s. So we kind of wanted to have that similar kind of feel. And so Caleb went on and designed these really impressive card packs you would pick up at the store. And the really interesting thing is, originally, this wasn't going to think it was a throwaway idea. It was kind of oh, wouldn't it be funny if you took these cards and put put like foil wrappers on them. And Caleb loves a good idea. So he went first and got like foil paper to print this on, to print this design on. But I believe he doesn't have like a laser printer, and so even though it came out really well, printed well, the second you touched it, it just would smear all of the ink off of it. So he had to go with just traditional paper, which again kind of went with the retro feel, which we like. Then he 3D printed out like a crimping machine and like hand crimped these things for everybody. So this is my set. Everybody will get one. So we have here. I'll start with Into the Unknown. So I'm not 100% sure. I think this is support staff, and then these are extra characters. I think I could be very wrong. We'll find out here shortly. So Drake Patch, got to be at least 6 years old or older to play this. This pack of 6 additional game cards is entitled Into the Unknown. Now here's the cool thing that I didn't even think of. When I originally kind of laughingly told him to do this, it was like, just do this, like just put them in foil packs and just like put the Drake thing on it or something, and then end of story. But he went farther because he's a very creative person. So here we go. Pretty amazing. Looks just like something you would buy at the store. So this is Via Non-Capta's Instagram. This is like a QR code that'll take you to my Instagram page. This is a little bio, which I'll read in a minute. The company that made it. And then some semi-fake, obviously no actual legal holding, which is why there's no like actual reserve, actual copyright, actual trademark, because it's not. We haven't gone officially, federally done that stuff. But you have 2013 Via Non-Capta, 1990 to 2023, The Plastic Underground. So that's his company. And then it says creatures and character names and are trademarks of Via Non-Capta. Manufactured and illustrated by The Plastic Underground and printed in the United States of America. So let me read the bio. It says, follow a 22nd century Federation starship into deep space in a live play of Modiphius's Star Trek Adventures RPG. Captain Harper Knightley, played by Adri, commands the Drake NX-01, the first Federation vessel capable of breaking the Warp 7 barrier. With her infamous chief engineer, Zilak Jahan, played by John, science officer Sova, played by Andrew, engineering prodigy Isaac Clarke, played by Caleb, security expert Commander Ashraf Thar-Hat, played by Michael, pessimistic Dr. Stephen House, played by Caleb, and unforgettable helmsman Lazesh, played by Eric. Captain Knightley is tasked with exploring new, unknown star systems. So, propel your imagination farther and faster than before with an ever-expanding universe of captivating characters, interstellar intrigue, and adventures that speak to Zephyrin Cochrane's words to boldly go where no man has gone before. Now, I ended up going with the original series. Also, he says it in Enterprise. James Cromwell reprising his role as Zephyrin Cochrane. I went with the No Man, because that's what they say in this time period. So I'm just going off of what is shown rather than trying to be more socially etiquette. So, okay, so let's get into this pack. Let's, without further ado, get into the Unknown and see who I personally received, because these are all random for each player. So, sadly, I have to open this up, so these are really nice. So normally, I could go to a store, you would just like bust them open and you wouldn't care, but a little different. Let's pull it out. There we go. Admiral Olent Charothi. 7 out of 7. You can see This is what he looks like. There's his Elvis sideburns. He's got the command Delta, obviously modeling the Admiral look from Star Trek Enterprise. He's got a Federation sticker. Okay, so this is our support officer, Ensign Engineer Lodak, number 3 of 7. He is the secondary officer or supporting officer of Caleb's engineering character, Isaac Clarke. Eric's character, who hasn't been obviously in the deck, Lozesh. Interesting. 2 out of 7. Nice full picture of a Gorn. Model taken from Star Trek Online. Look at that. Admiral Guinevere Foxwell. 2 of 7. Have I got? No, I got a lot of 2 of 7. 2 of 7s. Here's the Starbase 2 patch. Pretty wild. So we kind of took away the... kind of gave her more of like a zip-up coat and took away the tie that the Admiral on Earth has. Kind of play with things a little bit like that. And there he is. Whoa. What's that? A holographic Grenjid? So it's Astronaut Commander Grenjid from Zarfalis. Here's his like mission patch. He's number 4. There's his capsule. There's his ship's name. And there's Grenjid. So both the Admiral here and Grenjid were, I used like AI software to kind of like make her head to send Caleb a reference. So he used that. And then I think it's in Evocation Part 2 or Part 3. I showed the AI generated image of what Grenjid is supposedly to look like. So obviously Caleb went and kind of doctored it up just a little bit to tie things in, like put the patch on him and put his name on him and make it look a little more brought together than just a random AI thing. I think I got 2, 6, no, did I? No. So pretty cool. Pretty cool that he's holographic. And then lastly, is he also holographic? I think my commander, Chief Medical Officer Stephen Hallis, is also holographic. I think so. In comparison to these other ones, he looks holographic. So I got a holographic Stephen Hallis. Number 5 out of 7. Look at that. Pretty cool. Obviously, he's a mixture of Gregory House, played by Hugh Laurie in House MD, an older show, and then of Benedict Cumberbatch's Stephen Strange from the Marvel movies. So, mixing of those two guys, you get Stephen House. Pretty awesome. Holographic. Okay. So here is the next pack, the Fringes of the Federation. This is the same, just a different pack. Very good. Let's crack right into this one. You want to be ginger, but you also just want to, you know, it's going to be a hassle to like quietly and like effortlessly open it. It's nice though. I like how it all kind of comes together. Ooh, number 1, number 7 out of 7, Ensign Con Officer Milak. Now, before Eric joined, this was my character that I would have be inserted. He's a Ryzian, modeled after Ensign Mayweather, played by Anthony Montgomery, I believe, from Star Trek Enterprise. So he was the person that I had like sort of like soft introduced into I think I mentioned it in the chat in the GM video. Kind of like soft introduced him into the senior staff, so that like I can have a voice narratively, like that made sense. But now that Eric is there, I now kind of just mainly am there as secondary characters. And Eric, this is now Eric's supporting character. There he is, Lieutenant Commander, Security Officer Sandin, Michael's supporting character. And Denoblian, bald, there's a little scar right there underneath his ear as I described him. There he is. Ensign Science Officer Sarang Choi. So she is, I believe, Korean is what I made her. She is Andrew's supporting character. And then originally this was Ashley's supporting character, Lieutenant Medical Officer Dakota Mescal, modeled after Chakotay, played by Robert Beltran. But now he is Caleb's secondary supporting, like his additional supporting character, as he plays the Chief Medical Officer now as Stephen House. Very nice. 2 of 7. And then this is Tactical Commander Tilly Zarilis, or Zarilis. She is Adriana's supporting character for her captain. So when the captain is not on board and Michael is not, basically when the three of them, when Adriana, Michael, and John are not on the bridge due to shift changes or away missions or anything of that nature, she would take the captain's chair, and Sandin would take Michael's spot. He would take Arhat's location. And lastly, who I think is Jahan's supporting, or John, sorry, it is Jahan, but John's supporting character, it is. Let's see if that hopefully picks up well on the camera. It is a holographic Lieutenant Comms Officer, Charlotte Rabassa. It is John's supporting character. So I got a holographic Grenjid, a holographic Charlotte Rabassa, and a holographic Chief Medical Officer, Stephen S. Pretty wild. Pretty cool. 2 out of 7. So how many 2 out of 7s did I get? Oh, pretty good. I got Tilly, Mescal, and that's it. So see if we can. We jokingly talked about maybe trading them at some point, but we'll see. So anyways, that's what this has been. This has been a card pack opening video for our crew. Interestingly, I got a strong closer with all the strong ladies of our crew. Interestingly, all 2 of 7s, by the way, that's funny. Caleb did make a thing that if people somehow are interested in these things, that there may be a way to sell them to people. So if you'd like one, write in the comments that you would like to purchase one, and I will show it to Caleb, and perhaps something can be worked out with purchasing it. He has all the understanding of it better than I do. So there you go. Via non-captas, 2 packs, Into the Unknown, and the Fringes of the Federation. As our campaign moves on, not to put any pressure onto him, but I would assume that we will get more as more people involved. Maybe we'll get villains of Via non-capta universe. But as I know, as I'm the game master, there are other characters who may make it to in this pile. So there's also some other characters that we've brought up that haven't been drawn yet. So we will see. So as my sticker here says, to keep me in frame, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and ring that bell for notifications. we're soon to go on our summer break. So there's about 4 more episodes coming, which may be only episode 3, the cleaving. So stay tuned for that. Might be able to get through into and complete episode 4, but it's doubtful. We like to play and stick it out. Plus, this is my first time doing this, so a lot of my stories are not like one-shots that can be done in 1 or 2 episodes. Apparently, they're 4 or 5 parts, which is fine, just surprising to me. So, yeah, and then we'll go on summer break, and we're still in discussions of whether or not what we're going to do during then. We might have some things during the summer, we might not. It just depends on everybody's schedule and what everybody is willing to do. So, thank you again for watching. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to try to make continue to make good content. Hopefully you like it. And this is Via Non Capta signing off. I encourage you to also check out and follow the Plastic Underground, who's also on YouTube. He does a lot of 3D printing. We do podcast type things, movie reviews. We do buddy builds where we build things. There's Star Trek content over there. So there's always something to watch somewhere. We try to make pretty regular, either myself or he, we try to make pretty regular content at least once a week. Don't really have an outro. So, yeah.